The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
This is the key takeaway, is that this moment validates our roadmap. The fact that FIFA is now leaning into blockchain ticketing, and it reinforces the potential for Nextech to lead the global event token revolution.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Nextech3D.ai CEO Evan Gappelberg. Evan, good to speak with you. You've just acquired three strategic domain names. How do these fit into your broader vision for blockchain ticketing and digital event experiences?
Yes, Stephen. So today's news is just a continuation of a chain of news that we've put out recently in terms of our expansion into blockchain ticketing, which we see as a new huge growth opportunity. So acquiring Event Token and Event Drop and Tech Tickets is just more progression as we lean in to this business in a big way. We see this as a major opportunity, and these domains really solidify our long-term vision to build a scalable, trusted, and user-friendly blockchain ecosystem and infrastructure. And that's really where we're at today, Steve.
And as blockchain ticketing becomes more mainstream, Evan, FIFA announced today that it's going to be launching blockchain ticketing. So really validating what you're doing.
Yeah, monster news today, Steve. FIFA, which is the World Cup, one of the largest events on earth. I mean, the timing could not be better. They are actually doing a version of blockchain ticketing. They sell over 3.4 million tickets, and they have over 1.5 billion viewers that tune in to the World Cup annually. And so they're offering a tokenized ticketing solution. They're doing something a little different than us, where it's an NFT and you could bid up the price. But this move by a global giant proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that tokenized ticketing is entering the mainstream, and that Nextech is aligned with that global trend. And we see this as really just a validation and a big opportunity for us. We're taking a safer, smarter path than FIFA. Again, they're doing something where the ticket, could be essentially bid up on and resold. We're doing an event token ecosystem, which is purpose built for utility and real world access, not speculation. We're not really doing the speculation. We could end up with something similar down the road, but our first launch is really just loyalty, rewards, sponsor perks, airdrops, sponsorships, which we see as a big differentiator in the market. And our model is engineered with clear token definitions, regulatory transparency, frictionless usability, where we're the custodian. You don't necessarily need to have a crypto wallet. And so, we're looking at FIFA's launch. We're looking at some of their missteps, and we're learning. And when we look at the industry, though, Steve, and this is the key takeaway, is that this moment validates our roadmap. The fact that FIFA is now leaning into blockchain ticketing, and it reinforces the potential for Nextech to lead the global event token revolution.
Well, so some more validation of your strategy, perhaps, Evan, was that $595,000 warrant conversion from an institutional investor. How does that capital accelerate your blockchain rollout and overall growth strategy?
Yeah, it's a friendly investor. They've been involved since 2023. So they decided to convert. It really just adds fuel to our fire. It's not a lot of money. We weren't looking for the money. We don't need the money, but of course we'll take the money, and we really have no choice. So it was a voluntary warrant exercise. We're happy to take in the funds. We're very close to finalizing our definitive agreement on the acquisition of EventX. So, of course, this puts a little extra cash in the till. And so from our standpoint, there's lots and lots of opportunity, but from the standpoint of capital, we didn't need the capital, but we're happy to take it.
Evan, tokenization forecast to reach nearly $19 trillion by 2033. Where do you see Nextech 3D AI positioned within this massive shift, and how big could this opportunity be in event ticketing and sponsorship?
Yeah, so tokenization, Steve, is eating the world. I mean, everything's going to be tokenized. We're going to live in a token economy. You're going to see the stock of Nextech get tokenized. Gold recently was tokenized. You can now buy, just like, you buy a fraction of Bitcoin or Ethereum, you could put $10 in or $5, whatever, or 5,000. Same thing happened with gold recently, which is why I think part of the reason why gold has just gone parabolic. But when you think about real estate, if you want to invest, and I think I saw Trump Tower now is tokenizing their building so that you put, $1,000 into Trump Tower and own a tiny slice of that pie. And so everything's going to be tokenized. The entire economy is going to be a token economy. And so when you think of events, we're going to be in the event space, which is $100 billion marketplace. And our goal is to disrupt and be one of the first movers with an event token. And that's why these domains, eventtoken.com, eventdrop.io, techtickets.com, are so foundational for our future because we're looking at a future where event tokens becomes the ticket. The languaging, I think, is going to change, Steve, where you don't talk about, do you have a ticket to the Katy Perry concert? You say, do you have your token? Do you have your event token instead of ticket? And so I think that's going to happen. And I think it's going to happen starting in 2026. Nextech is going to be one of the leaders in that space, Steve.
Exciting times indeed for the company. Evan, thank you very much as always.
Thank you, Steve.
Evan Gappelberg, the CEO of Nextech3D.ai.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors, or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.